Texan was trying to contact me. Yeah. Tail's going. She's not happy. Don't look at me. It's not my fault, girl. Linda, hi there. If Karula has a new litter, she seems to do that every time I start answering a question. She calls. Linda wants to know if the boys will show aggression to the new cubs. I think Linda, if she's going to have another litter, she's going to show aggression towards the boys. She's not going to let them into her territory. She's going to make sure that they're gone. If she's ready to have a new litter, there's not much chance of them that they're going to be around. I guess in the event of, if it was to happen, yes, I think it's possible. If she were to leave her litter and go off hunting, and the boys were to come across, well, of course they're not going to be together, and they'll be individual solitary leopards then. But if one of them were to come across her litter, I think yes, there's a good possibility that leopard instinct takes over and eliminates the drive to eliminate competition is pretty strong. So there's a good possibility that they can be a potential threat to her next litter, especially since they're males. I don't know so much about females, but then again, it's also, this is a behavioral thing that becomes impossible to give a definite answer to. Lovely yawn there, Karula. There we go again. No. She's getting a little... she's staring into the back of my skull right now. I can feel those eyes boring through mine. It's like she's blaming me for the people sitting next to her talking. I think we're going to have to move. There's another vehicle here. Which vehicle coming into Ingwe? Okay, Abes, if you can just stand by, I need to pull out if you're coming in. Yeah, 3 movers. Alright, I'll pull out so you can come in. Okay, Abes, Ephraim is pulling out, and you can pull in as soon as he's out. Okay, we're going to stay. Look, I really would like to stay. I think then there are a number of you out there that would like to stay with us and to see if there's any resolution to this, all this calling. I think to leave now would be a little bit counterproductive. It'd be nice to stay here and see whether something's going to happen. We will be pushed out if another vehicle comes along, but fortunately the vehicles are making space for us. Oh, from
Yeah, how long are you going to stay here?
How long are you excuse me? How long are you doing this for? Ah, like have you got a time period?
Yeah, 3 hours.
No, in months.
we live here.
Are you going to wait for the cut?
What's your website?
WildEarth.tv.
WildEarth.co.za.
No, just .tv.
What time have you been here? It's 3 o'clock.
But are you, how long have you been?
Probably until,
No, for in the rest of your life.
probably for the rest of my life. I do this every day, twice a day.
I know, but have you got like a time period?
We do it in the morning for 3 hours, in the afternoon for 3 hours, and sometimes at night.
But how long do you think you can do this for?
About a year, 2 years.
Well, no.
Still calling. I hear there are a number of you out there that would like us to stay too. I really don't want to go anywhere. Combination of trying to listen to the radio and inquisitive guests that were coming past us. I think she's going to get ready to move now. Unfortunately, quite a lot of activity around here at the moment. Somebody's asking in the chat room what about these balls on the top of the termite mound. Those are just closed off tunnels from the termites. It's just the way it's eroded. I don't think it's anything in particular. A lot of vehicle activity. You can see those ears are going back a little bit. She's certainly used to the vehicles, but she can be overwhelmed from time to time. Okay, go ahead, Tara. No, keep them coming. Nancy. Hi everybody, and hi Nancy. Gosh, another one of these questions that is. I guess you're asking for what I think, but it's Nancy's wanting to know when she's going to be ready to mate again, and who do I think she'll mate with. Such an awkward one, that one, Nancy. Here she goes. Come back, girl, come back. She's getting a little bit impatient, I think, because the boys aren't answering her yet. Who she'll mate with? Well, let's see. Let's try the first part of that question. When she's going to be probably ready to mate soon. Boys are 18 months old. Give it another 3 or 4 months. I'm sure she might be in estrus again. Yes, come this side, girl. Knock one of those balls down so that I can see what it is. Yeah, almost. Almost. I'd like to see. I mean, it looks like it's just the way the termite mound is eroded at the top there from rain and things. But the chances of there being a dung beetle ball at the top of a termite mound are pretty slim. Sorry, Tara, I was kind of gesticulating to Abel there, doing hand signals. Fine, and you? If we could maybe repeat that, please, Tara. No, I was ready, and but then I was. Yeah, there's quite a lot happening around me at the moment with vehicles moving, and Abel was reversing. He was asking me if I could just watch the back of his vehicle and whether he could reverse or not. But yes, if we could maybe, if I can give all my attention now to those questions coming in. Kashmira, hi there, and wanting to know, would she know? It's another behavioural thing, and well, Kashmira is asking, would Karula know if the boys have gone? I think, yeah, similar to what we're experiencing now. She comes back, she calls and calls and calls, and no answer. Elaine was asking, could today be the day? It could very well be, Elaine. Could very well be the day. The very fact that both boys have left the area far enough away that they're not hearing her is a good indication that they're not necessarily how am I trying to say this? Are you looking at me like that again? What did I do? It's like I'm to blame for the boys not being here. Unless there's something coming up behind us. Something behind us. All the photos I've taken, I'll just keep that face there, Karula. No. I want her to look at me again like that. This is how it would probably happen. In fact, this is to answer Kashmira's question. If I could, that she would go off, make a kill, and come back to an area where she left the boys, only to find them not here, and spend hour after hour calling, and eventually giving up, I guess. Eventually realizing that they're not going to come, that they might have gone. Highlander from a very hot and sunny Texas. Would Karula go back to the suspected kill if the boys don't show up? I think she would. I think the longer she stays here, the longer she has a chance of losing it. So very much so. There's going to come a time in the next couple of hours that she's either going to just get up and walk away, or she'll just head off calling all the way. When she doesn't want to draw too much attention to herself when she gets closer to the site where the kill is. One of the reasons why she leaves them and goes off and makes a kill in a different area in the first place. She doesn't want hyena following her. Peggy, how long does a leopard carry before birth? Gestation period, I guess. Gestation of a leopard is around 100 days, I think. Just over 3 months. Oh, got the flash in her eyes there. Let's try this. Julie's wondering, a little bit concerned, wondering how many vehicles there are, wondering that she's a little bit surrounded. Julie, there are only 2 of us vehicles. We're both sitting where I am. She's got a 350 degrees of area that she can go in. We are on the east, sort of northeastern side of this termite mound, so she's got vast choice of directions. But we also know that being Karula and having been with her very often, and she's experienced with us as well, there's also no reason why she won't walk right past the vehicle if she wanted to, and she's been known to do that in the past. So there's never more than 3 vehicles with an animal at any one time, so as not to surround them, so as not to pressure them too much. And we're all very careful about she's now calling the other side. Sorry, what about changing direction? Sorry. Ed, as you asked a question about her moving, she has done just that. Ed was asking whether since she... Oh. There go all my batteries out of the camera. Wasting time now. Camera fell off of the vehicle. Ed was asking if she would change direction in terms of calling direction. Very much so. She did just as last, but now she called on the other side of the termite mound, and she's actually headed off now. She's gone somewhere. I've wasted too much time trying to pick up my camera. The batteries all fell out of it. So she must have headed off down this way. Abel, come in. Still got visual? I think she's going back to Nyama. Yeah. She's now heading back to... It's two of us now. She's now heading back east. She came from the east to this old kill site to see if she could pick up the boys. She's been calling for the last couple of hours. They haven't come out. She's now heading back east. I'm thinking she's going back to Myanmar.
Yeah, what's the last?
We're just south of the power line that runs through from Impala Plains Road down to Buyutela Access Road. We're going to be coming out on Zoe's Road pretty soon. Okay, copy. Where about are you now? Okay, copy. I think the best bet will be to come to Zoe's Road. Now it's getting very, very thick. Good chance we can lose her in this. But we... Huh? Are they? See you there. Start getting difficult to tell direction soon. We're back at the tree where they had the kill. Whoops. I think Abel must be with her, but we're trying to get around. Trying to stay in the direction that she is. What? Yeah. visual now. Huh? Off the vehicle. We're not getting off. No. Just waiting for her to come through here. I'm hoping she does. She seems to have stopped again to call. You can see where the spotlight is. But she doesn't seem to be moving again. We're almost back where we first found her. Okay, let's try and get in there. Not from Abel. Abel, let me know if she's moving again. Let me know if she's moving again.
Change direction now. Use more north, west,
West. Grey skies. Pretty hard to tell direction at this time of the day. We're already been a sunset. No, that's not northwest. More south than anything else. It's straight ahead of us. Do you need light? Suppose. Yeah. Come and sit on the tire cooler, you can call from there. Thought I just heard lion. Ngal. Is my pocho. Yeah, I did hear lion. Okay. No, So looks like she's kind of given up calling, or rather given up waiting here. And heading back the direction she came. Hopefully going to take us to a kill. I welcome anybody who's just joined us. If you have and you are new to Safari TV, ouch, ouch, ouch. This is live from the Djuma Game Reserve in South Africa, part of the Sabi Sand Game Reserve, which is incorporated into the Greater Kruger National Park. We're following a very well-known leopard. She's been calling her cubs. My name is Mark. Herman's on camera with me today, and we're coming to you live from deep in the African bushveld, far away from any roads right now, as she makes her way from a previous kill site, I'm guessing to another kill site, which is what brought her back here in the first place, to look for her sons, as she heads back to the direction that she came earlier this afternoon, stopping and calling and listening, hoping to get some response from one of her boys. We know that one of them moved further south. We're not too sure which direction the other one went in. Marina. Gosh, difficult question. Not really a leopard question, but Marina wants to know how we get the job that we got. Don't know. Put it out to the universe, and the universe delivered. I can only speak for myself, of course. Neil, Mark here. We are somewhat further southwest of that power line now.
Yeah, so what's your best approach?
Could you not hear her calling? Neil, which part of this power line are you at the moment? Neil, come in. sorry, you're cutting out again?
Yeah, we just off that node area, I think it's called Impala Plain.
The one way to get to us would be if you came up towards Sandy Patch along that road that comes up to Sandy Patch, and just before we get to the power line, you can see the tyre tracks that have headed in more or less in a northeasterly direction.
Yeah, sorry, here's the bottom power line, here's the top power line.
Bottom power line. She is heading back towards Zoe's Road, but every now and then she's stopping to call, and at the moment we're sort of in the middle of the block. But if you're on that mode area that is Impala Plains, if you head down to the bottom where the T-junction is and turn right and keep coming, you should be able to hear your vehicle. Otherwise I'll be able to give you a rev at some point. Neil, come in. While you're driving, just rev your engine for me, please. Neil, I can hear you. If you keep coming north, you should see tracks heading off to the northeast. We'll put some lights on in the trees for you. I can, Neil. If you can start turning towards the east from there. I can, Neil. You should be picking up some tracks heading off to the east, northeast. Sorry, Tara, I had my earpiece out there. I was trying to do something else. I see you would have come through with a question, maybe. Sorry, Herman. Also, my hand has been full of other things. I'm going to move forward. I can't. There's a zebra wood in the way. I need to go where she is if I need to move. Yeah, go. Gillian wants to know if leopard calling ever attracts hyenas. Yes, it does actually, Gillian. likely to call not only hyenas but lion as well. Always a dilemma for an animal like this that has to call. In terms of calling loud enough to be heard, and then of course not overdoing it too much, but she has been overdoing it in a way. She's gone on, where's she going? Back up the termite now. Yep, going back up to the top of the termite mound. She's going to call from up top there again. Not any good for us, there's a lot of grass in the way. But at this stage we can't be fussy about position. She's on the move, she's calling. We're hoping that by the time the end of drive comes, which we're going to get to where she's been going. Let's give it a bit of side light. Where's she got? Yeah, she's way ahead of us already. Back again. She's doing circles, she's not going anywhere in particular, I don't think. Okay. Laura, there's a very nice question from Laura. What if the boys have found the kill themselves and they're eating themselves full while she's calling? There's a very, very good possibility, and I've actually seen it not only with leopard, I've seen it with cheetah, actually more so than with leopard. So as I say, a very good possibility that that could happen. But also the other possibility is that they've actually managed to, one of them's managed to make their own kill, and they're somewhere on their own kill somewhere. That's another possibility, in which case they're going to ignore her completely. She's going to eventually tire of this, not tire of this, but she's eventually going to give up. Very good news, Neil. Hi. The new for this. Listen to it. Ganda ganda. Hyena calling in the distance. She's been calling since early afternoon. Oh, that could have been one of the boys. She's been... We heard her at 3 o'clock when we started, and we picked her up shortly afterwards, and we've been sitting with her practically since. Well, she had a kill just here a couple of days ago, and both boys were here with her. And she's been gone now for just over a day. She came from that side. I think she might have a kill there and she's come to fetch them. And they, being full, have gone off their tracks on that road heading towards Impala Plains. One of the boys before the rain from earlier this morning. And you can see she's looking, she's calling, she's patient. Moving again. No.
Those youngsters are just about new from her now.
Pretty much. I mean, they're bigger than her now. They've been spending more and more time on their own.
There's a million and something.
Yeah, 1.5 million.
1.5 million now.
Yeah,
That must trump the battery.
probably does.
You got quite a few things that trump the battery on that car.
Yes, like an inverter and 220 and
And the TV apparatus and everything just chews battery all night.
I've got
Well-
6 batteries on
You got 6 batteries.
yeah, the other vehicle had 10. Actually, it had 12. 2 for the main vehicle and then 10 for the camera equipment. We've cut it down to 6.
And what are the hits starting to come out? Are you getting good hits?
Yeah, very good. We're going to be, well, this is 3D, this is HD at the moment. This line. Abel says one of the Mapoko is up at Hoffman. But this is HD and soon we're going 3D. Live 3D from the bush. We're the Safari channel on wildearth.tv, but you could do a search for safari.tv.
Gang, or can we just go in for a while?
By all means.
Joy, we'll catch up during the week.
Indeed. Are you here for a bit? Wednesday. Okay, we'll see you no doubt. If I move, Neil, if I move, you want to come this side of the apple leaf? We'll let them take the lead for a little bit. And let's maybe make our way around off to the side a little bit. We've got leopard calling in front of us, lion calling from the north, that I'm led to believe is one of the Mapopos.
But guys, rule of 6 days. This is That's on the eastern side of the stop. She's still following the cover.
Okay, thanks, Abe. We're now almost underneath the tree where she made the kill, where they had the kill recently. So she's clearly sitting around in this area hoping that they're going to come back. They generally do tend to come back to an area that they've been in. I'll go a little bit more forward if you want. It's a little bit awkward with the angle of the light. But maybe just seeing a gap here where I am, so if I put you where I am, it might be better. Put the head up after she's been cleaning. Copy, thanks. Okay. Pamela. Just listening to Lion in the distance. Pamela is asking, seems such a shame that she's calling so long, and is this normal? I can hear plovers. I can hear some crowned lapwings out on Impala plains going crazy. Could be one of the leopards coming back. Yeah, it is kind of normal, Pamela. Particularly when the youngsters get to this age where they are semi-independent already, they're killing for themselves, they're spending more time alone, they are wandering over much larger areas. It's been several weeks now that they've actually been wandering larger areas on their own. And yes, at this time of this juncture, this moment in time of them growing up and reaching a point where any day now they're just not going to reappear. They're just not going to be here at all. Quite normal. Earlier, as I was saying, when they're very, very young, when they're very small, they will stay put. They wouldn't move even a couple of yards from where she leaves them. And as they grow older and get a little bit bolder and start learning their surroundings, as they start learning more about the dangers within the surroundings that they have, they feel a little bit more confident. So that by 6 months they might be moving a few, maybe even up to 50, 100 yards from where she leaves them. By a year old they're moving maybe double that distance. By this age, going on 18 months now, they could be anywhere within a territory at this stage. The fact that they are capable of hunting on their own, they are bigger than her, means that they could even be sitting on their own kill somewhere. Something I was talking about, and I think I was interrupted earlier. I remember many years ago watching Cheetah raising her two young male cubs, and we were watching her hunt one day on an open area, and the boys, she sort of sat them down under some trees on the edge of the open area, and she went off to chase the impala, and most of the impala actually ran right past the boys. One of the youngsters literally just jumped up and grabbed an impala without even having to run after it. I mean, it was virtually running, jumping over them. And being a young impala, he managed to subdue it very quickly, and she caught a kill at the same time. It took her a while to throttle it and kill it, and once she had killed it, she sat up, caught her breath, and started calling for the two boys, and they didn't come. And she called and called and called, and about half an hour later, maybe it wasn't that long, maybe 10 minutes later, she went back to where she had left them to find them feeding on their own impala. And well, that was one of the last times we saw them together, because at that point she was convinced, well, she was satisfied, I guess, that they were big enough and brutish enough to look after themselves. It was a little bit different with leopard. But this could very well be that day. We'll just have to wait and see whether we find them again. There's a good chance we will. There's a good chance that maybe in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, we'll see them together again. But they're clearly not as dependent on her kills as they were in the past. We don't have a very good view of her. I can't really go much more forward, because then I'm going to be shining the light directly towards these other guests from one of the private camps. We've had some fantastic views of her this afternoon as she's climbed trees and termite mounds to call for the boys. If any of you have just joined us, I'm sorry you missed that, and hopefully we'll get a good view of her again soon. And you're watching Safari TV on the Wild Earth website. My name is Mark, and Herman is bringing you the images on camera today. Tara's back in final control. And if you hear me answering questions, those are questions sent in by viewers to finalcontrol@safari.tv. And if you send in questions, we should be able to answer them within a relatively short period of time. We did have a question earlier on termites that I haven't really got around to answering. Mostly because this has been rather an exciting afternoon with her calling the boys. We've all been expecting them to arrive at any moment. certainly that's the way it has been in the past when she comes back to a place where they've been and she calls. We're now sitting maybe 40, not even 40, 50 feet away from the tree where they had the kill recently. Yep. Ed is asking whether the stuff that we have on the camera here at Gari, or on the stuff on the drives, anything of note, whether we pass that on to researchers. Perhaps not as much as we should do, Ed, or could do. Certainly the fact that it is all live and it is all recorded and archived allows us to go back to it. But certainly some aspects to it, yes. For example, when we had that black rhino come through the area, certainly there was a time last year when we had a brown hyena. We caught a brown hyena live on camera. That was very important, and we let relevant people know. But I guess the overall answer to that, Ed, is no, we don't really contribute a lot of, well, we don't really, I don't know how to put it. The thing is, we'd have to know of specific research projects and what the goals are for us to be able to contribute. It's going to be a pretty dark night tonight with the cloud. The moon's only going to be coming up a little bit later. Can you even see her now? I can't even see her. Oh, is the light in the right place? Oh, there. I can see her ear. All I can see is an ear. Kathy wondering why I mentioned the Mafokos. Kathy, we are hearing lion calling from way up in Buffelshoek. And Abel said to me, Abel was parked next to me watching the leopard earlier, and Abel said to me that it's the Mafokos. I'm not hearing them enough to be able to distinguish whether it's male or female calling. Abel, since he does do drives on Buffelshoek, and he knows more about the whereabouts of these animals than we do, means that he's probably got a better idea of which lion it is. Yeah, because the vehicle was there. Still got black screen. Oh no, I just had to move the light because we had a vehicle directly behind the light. And now that they've gone, I'm going to move. She moves as well. Okay, just a sec, time. Oh, there's a hyena here. didn't. Here she comes, and I can't get through here because of a big branch. You can see her there. Neil, did you see this hyena? It's next to him. Huh? The hyena sniffing around. Obviously here because she's been calling. Wonder where she's gone now. Oh, she's here. Okay, I was looking at the wrong tree. We're not, probably a little bit further away from the tree where she had the kill. Hyena, no doubt. Of course, because it's now night time, hyena starting to come out. And hello, girl. Got her? Okay. Making sure she's close to a tree for an easy escape in case the hyena does decide to get a little bit. Otherwise with her, although without any meat to fight over, there's not really much likelihood that they're going to come to blows. She'll try and get up one of these marula trees next to us. Capers. Asking whether we communicate with any of the other rangers in the area and whether they've spotted any of the boys. We are in communication. We talk to all of the guys from Djuma Game Reserve. Today there seem to be, let me think, there's 3 vehicles out from Buyatela. There are at least 2, maybe 3 vehicles out from Bush Lodge. 2 vehicles. So there are at least 5, plus there are a couple of landowners out this weekend. So I'm speaking to probably in the region of 6 or 7 vehicles that have been all over the place. Everybody's been driving around. There are lions further up near Djuma Bush Lodge, which vehicles have been going backwards and forwards from here to there, or there to here rather. And if anything, the vehicle that's just been with us now, Neil, he was saying that his guests saw something crossing Gari Main earlier. They seem to think that maybe it was one of the boys at quite a distance from here. She's going to walk me in circles that I'm not even going to know where I am to be able to get out of here. Because there are no stars, there's just a glow in the west that we're going to lose soon. Post-sunset glow. Oh, here comes a hyena. She's trying to hide from it. I'm not going to be able to put the light on her. Hyena's walking around sniffing. She's made a little bit of a beeline in another direction. I think it might also be she's sitting down. Hyena's gone off in another direction. Off to my right. Can't get the hyena, but I want to put, this light is very, very bright. It's much brighter than our normal spotlight. This is a different spotlight that we don't really use for game drives. One that I've used for filming because it's got a little tripod on it, but it is very, very bright to be pointing it at her. Pardon? Okay. Neil looks like he's going round in circles, unless he's following something. That's just the radio. I can't tell where the volume is, so I have to change channels. We will a little bit. We'll see how it goes. We do have to get back. Patrick's getting ready for a fireside chat tonight. Okay, sorry. It's so bright. I really don't want to put it. Have you got nothing there? It's just a bit awkward holding. Go ahead.
Can you see our vehicle?
Affirmative.
What direction should I take from here to get back out on the road?
You switch lights off. Can you see the afterglow from the sunset in the west? I was just thinking the same thing, that if she's walking around in circles, she's going to turn me around completely. That's going to be hard. We're going to have to leave soon anyway. Neil, there are tracks that I'm on now. If you come back to where I am, we'll follow these tracks out together. Lying down in the grasses. Okay. Folks, is that too bright? Pretty bright in my eyes. Here we go. And of course she's going to be feeding that too. I think it's prudent for us to leave at the moment, as much as I wanted to stay and maybe see how this is going to pan out. With hyena moving around and vehicles moving around, it's not really good for us to be here. Also, this light is exceptionally bright. If there is a situation with hyena close to her, because it's going to, just going to affect her night vision briefly. Sorry, let's turn that down a little bit. So our best bet is actually to just turn around right now and head out, and we're going to be heading back to camp. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. Microphone here and camera there. But it's been super, absolutely fantastic. And thanks for all the questions that you sent through. I really appreciate it. Great interaction that we've had. My name is Mark. Herman's been on camera, Tyro in Final Control, and you've been with Safari TV live here from Djuma Game Reserve. And we'll see you back at Final Control at about 6:30 Central African time for a roundup of the week's highlights. And bye for now.